welcome to the breakdown, the beat breakdown of my new single, Unshakable. It's out now everywhere, so go listen to it if you haven't. But we're going to be discussing how I made the beat, how the vocals kind of came together, how they were mixed, and everything in between. Stay tuned. So, for the most part of this record, it really and truly comprises of like a drum loop for the most part, a synth loop that I got off Splice, and like very little percussions. I kid you not, that's mostly it. I tried to keep it as simple as possible, just because I wanted it to be reminiscent of like that Don Jazzy era, like 2010, where it was like Don Jazzy, The Prince, Dr. Sid, etc. So I made this beat originally, honest to God, in like a Delta Lounge airport. I was flying from LAX back to Lagos at the time. And then what had happened was that on my phone, I was just going through Splice loops like in my spare time just to see what piques my interest. And then I kind of found this piano loop, which goes crazy. It's just. And so I'm listening to this loop and I'm like, half my work's already done, I don't need to do too much, quite literally. The only thing I wanted to do was I wanted to be able to kind of control when the kick comes in or not. And so what I did for like that was like, I just did a high pass filter for the most part. That was literally it, put a high pass filter where needed, where I didn't want to kick. And then I created like a duplicate track to use as like my sidechain trigger, which is kind of what you have here. I just want your trigger just to kick. So you'll often see me just like cut up the kick and, put that in like, there. And then, honestly, that was pretty, so this is what I had first, and then the verses, I took out the kick. Yeah, so now the kick is gone. You see, it's very, very light. Literally just a high pass filter. Killed it at like 250 hertz. And then we put in. So I had this first. And then I boarded the plane. On the plane, I have like Wi-Fi, and so I started searching for like loops. So if you know me, you know I love fusions. I like to put things together that probably haven't been put together, or at least don't usually go well. But it's like, for me, it's a lot of trial and error. It's a hit or a miss. It can either be something beautiful or something just not as great sounding, basically. And so I found this beautiful synth loop on Splice. Shout out to whoever put this on there. It was really fast. And then the original BPM of that loop was like 150 bits per minute. And then the project was like 108. Because Afrobeats, Afropop, is usually very more mid-tempo based. So I had to slow it down. No, before I even slowed it down, I was just like, this loop is fire. And it was really fast. But then I slowed it down, and it actually kind of still sounded really good. So this is it here. And I'm listening to this like, would you ever expect a Nigerian artist to record on this type of sample and do like Afro beats? Probably not. And I was like, I'm gonna do it, So that's already getting me going. And I take out my computer and I put it on there. I download the sample, move it to my computer. I put these two things together. And it's already a vibe. I got half the beat there. Next thing I did was like I added this metal rim shot thingy I always do. You've heard me do like a couple times now, like a couple different songs. So we kind of have that going. Put the sample back in, and then your synth is also already there. And this is already a vibe. Like, You're already dancing. You're already grooving to it. Somewhere along the line, because this song has like 11 different versions, you know, um, I added your crash just to give it some more sizzle. And that's pretty much it, you know. Next thing I did was I sent this record. I went to a couple different producers who like I felt like would do it on a piano better than I would, because I haven't done the genre before like properly. And if I wanted to do it, I wanted to be like, what would a Captain E sound like on a piano? I didn't want it to be just like regular sound. So I went to a couple producers. I tried to give them the record. They were either doing things I didn't like or just didn't get like my concept entirely. I went to Altim's, however, he did a couple things, but he played this bass that they've used that Maven quite a couple times, but I haven't heard it, and that just cemented the whole. It wasn't even Maven era; it was Mo Hits era, and maybe like early Maven, like when again Dr. Sid was still there and everything else. That era, I heard this bass and I was like, "All Tims, you are just a wizard." He had literally given me this, and I was like, "Damn." Oh no, hell no. So I hear this, my eyes are just glittering with excitement. We put that with everything else. And the crash. I mean, at that point, that's pretty much it. All I did was just added some extra synths to support the main one, give it like a variation, you know? And log drums. Crazy. At this point, the beat's done. Like, I'm not even doing much, just adding some effects. And you cannot forget, it cannot be a Captain E beat without hearing your favorite tag ever. You know what it is?
This is your captain speaking.
That was honestly like the last thing. You combine all these things and you already have literally a hit on your hand. You know? That's it. And go stupid. Whew. This are the times where I wish I could dance.
This is your captain speaking.
You get me? But it's already done. We have the melody, we have the groove. All we need is lyrics, rather, and like a good melody, catchy energy to kind of get the people going, you know. And so on my phone, I don't even know if I can find the voice note, but on my phone, I'm on the plane, and then I'm just listening to the beat, and then the next time that I'm just starting to hum. That's the first thing I ever said. If I find my phone, it's somewhere here, but that's what it's like there. So I was just like murmuring these words, and the thing with me is that when I keep humming it, and eventually the words just start coming out, and that's kind of how I got the very first. So I started the song vocally with the very first verse, and everything else kind of came after. There's been different versions of a bridge, different versions of a chorus. But the verse 1 is the first thing I ever did, and that's exactly what's there. So
this is your captain speaking.
Oh, my bad. Okay, here we go.
This is your captain speaking.
Yeah, you know that I can make you uncapable. I'm ready to show you that I'm available. Baby, what you owe me, also my deliver. Unshakable, you know I'm breakable.
This came next. My vocal chain is pretty basic, nothing too crazy. I don't usually use a lot of auto-tune, but for this record, I tried to do it more natural voice sounding. It wasn't slapping. Like, I needed it to sound like it could be a not street, but like it could. It's a song you could play on the streets. It's a song you could play in the clubs. It's a song that could be very international. For me, that was very important. So the auto tune just it needed to be on like the max, and when I put it there, I felt the song more, and I was like, yeah, this is definitely it. And I mean, the rest is history. The rest is history, as they say. So, if you haven't already, go listen to my new song, Unshakable. It is out now on all your favorite streaming platforms. If you have listened to it, share it, listen to it again. You can never listen to Unshakable too many times. You get me? Again, this is your captain speaking. I thank you for watching Unshakable, the Beat Breakdown.